So like currently the prices we are having for meat, it's 250 shillings per kg live weight. I'm a buyer, so I'm talking on a buyer side. And again, when you create your own market, you may fetch better prices from that, because everybody else can create their own market like we have done, so that we become buyers. So when you create your own market, one rabbit goes for around 2,000, the meat. But when it is 250 per kilo live weight, when you are selling to the middlemen, again you are doing like 500 shillings per kg meat weight. My name is Ann Nganga, a rabbit farmer here in Thika, Kiambu County. We are in Kigajo of Garissa Road. Our farm is called Rovana Farm. Here in Rovana Farm, we are doing dog breeding, specifically the small dogs, Japanese Spitz, and Maltese Terriers. We are also doing dairy goats, mostly German Alpines and Saanen. Also doing rabbits, all breeds meant for meat. We also have a pigeon section. So karibuni sana. We go through all the farming activities in the farm. So basically, our farm, Rovana Farm, started with 2 rabbits. This was a motivation from my children who wanted to have some pets in the farm. So I brought in 2 rabbits, and afterwards I thought of it being a business. That is how I decided to research more, and I found out that people are doing self-cleaning cages. So I found the business part of it also appetizing. That is how I decided now to construct more cages in the farm. And I added more rabbits from 2 to 10. So basically we started with 10 mothers. And remember, the capacity of any farm is always determined by the number of mothers we have. So from there it has grown, currently doing over 300 rabbits. And then as we moved on the first year, again my kids, they asked for some pet dogs for their birthdays. That is when I brought in a male Japanese Spitz. Later the other child again asked for a pet dog as a birthday gift. I brought in a Maltese Terrier, a female. And again I asked myself, why would I be feeding dogs without anything coming from it? That is when again I decided I was going to do dogs as business. From there, diversification, you have to keep thinking. And I added dairy goats. Then to the pigeons, I came up with a set of pigeons. And today we have a whole set of farm. The name Rovana Farm came now from my children. The boy Roy and the girl Vanessa, then mine at the end, so it's Roy, Vanessa and Ann Rovana. I decided to do everything as a gift to them, but today it is earning us some profits, so everything is commercial and we are doing well. So when it comes to rabbit farming, there are several things that each and every farmer must consider. Yes. Number one, we said about self-cleaning cages, whereby we are doing our cages floor using the half-inch wire mesh. Specifically, we do monkey mesh and coconut rocker, so that all the droppings and all the urine goes down to the collection unit. Then the urine runs through the gutters to the bowls. Again, when you are doing your construction, you must consider the spacing between the 2 tires so that you are able to do your cleaning very easily. You don't want to do something that will keep stressing you. So we need enough space here so that you are able to clean nicely. The sizes of the cage, yes, we always do a 2 feet length, 2.5 feet width and 18 inches back height. In that cage, we are able to fit in a bowl for the parrots and another one for water. If it's a mothering doe, we are able to fix in a nesting box when she's almost giving birth. So apart from now the cage construction, again you must have the right breeds. Right breeds, as in you must know in our country what exactly we require from rabbits. So here in Kenya we are mostly doing meat rabbits, and meat rabbits we have New Zealand white, California white, we have checkered giants, Flemish giant, Palomino, and the chinchillas. So like here in these cages we already have a checkered chinchilla. As you can see, that is the color of a chinchilla, an American chinchilla. We have a standard chinchilla that is gray. Then we have a Flemish giant black. Flemish giant we have black, and we also have Sadie. Sadie looks like the Sadie soil. Then we have checkered giants. That's a checkered giant. It can be white with brown and the butterfly-like part on the nose and eyes. It can also be white and gray or white and black. Then we have California whites. California whites, it's all white. The ears, the nose part, the front legs, and the back tail, they have to be either black or grayish. The eyes are pink. Then we have Palominos. A Palomino is brown with black eyes, like that one. That's a Palomino. Then we have the most common, the New Zealand whites, all white and pink eyes. Yeah, that's a New Zealand white. It's all white and pink eyes. We have several other breeds that are ornamental. Being ornamental doesn't mean they are not meat breeds. They can also be eaten, but their bone ratio is higher than the meat ratio. But for all the meat breeds, the meat ratio is higher than the bone ratio. So once you get your starting stock or the breeders to start your farm, you place every mother in her own cage, then the male in his own cage, and after that you are supposed to take the females to the male's cage for servicing and not vice versa. Why do we take the females and not vice versa? Because the males mark their territories, so that is where the female is supposed to go for mating, then back to her cage. When they are mating, you only know of a successful mating through the back falling on its back. Then after that, put your records right. You must have a card where you record everything happening in the farm. So if, for example, we took a California to New Zealand for serving, because what we are doing is crossbreeding, then record that service date and the back saving, maybe the cage number and the breed. Then from there you must have a column for expected date of delivery, whereby we calculate from the date of service, and the gestation period of a rabbit is 28 days. Then from there, when you have your records, you have the expected date of delivery and actual date of delivery. This one will help you know which rabbits maybe take longer to give birth beyond 28 days, and maybe why they do it. Then you must have another column for mortalities. If the number of litter first, how many kids she gave birth to, then mortalities. Again, there you are able to know if a rabbit keeps giving birth and they all die, you are supposed to cull. Once you have your records clear, now we move to the feeding part. Our rabbits, we are basically feeding them on rabbit pellets. Rabbit pellets, as you can see. Then hay and water. We do dry feeds so that they are able to take a lot of water. More water intake increases body volume, or it helps in better growth. So our rabbits take only pellets and hay, then a lot of water. And then from there, after the feeding procedures, let's say like for the mothering dose and the lactating ones, we are doing 120 grams. For all 3 to 4 months, we are doing 100 grams. Below 3 months, we do 70 grams of rabbit pellets. Then from there, we have diseases, control and management. Once you have a farm, these are live animals. They will always be sick at times, just like human beings. So we have diseases that affect rabbits. Some that you are able to control, others that you cannot control, but they are treatable. So like number 1 disease is pneumonia, caused by cold and direct weed to the cages. Cold, I mean like if you do your cages, maybe the spacing between the cages is up there, you are not able to remove all the dirt. So you may end up having a lot of clogging inside there. And once the rabbits are on the floor and they step on the floor, their feet becomes wet due to the wetness on the droppings. That is a number 1 cause of pneumonia. And again, another disease is snuffles. Snuffles is again caused by direct weed and dust. So when you are feeding your rabbits on hay, make sure it is dust free, and make sure when you are doing your cages, they always face the opposite direction from weed. The other disease we have that affects our rabbits is coccidiosis. Coccidiosis is like amoeba in human beings. So almost every rabbit has it, but once it becomes active, that is when the problem. So we have antioxidants that we give, and it is also in their feeds, the pellets, and that is what prevents them from getting the disease. We have woolly neck, mostly affecting the pregnant mothers when they are almost giving birth. So when they are having those cervical contractions and they get nerve problems, you find the head bent on one side. That one cannot be prevented, but it's again not so common. The other very common disease is caused by mites. We have mange and ear canker. Mange and ear canker, you can prevent your rabbits from mites, maybe by making sure in your farm you don't have chicken that are infested by mites, and again keeping away all rats in the farm. Then make sure you inject your rabbits after every 3 months. Those that are 3 months and above, 3 months of age and above, you inject them again after every 3 months with ivermectin injection. It's a subcutaneous injection that prevents infestation by mites. The marketing part of it, rabbits are a good source of income if you do it the right way. For one, we say you must have numbers, and again do your calculations well, because like when we talk of feeding, that is your production cost. You calculate like one rabbit feeding on 100 grams per day, that is around 50 shillings. 100 gram, one rabbit will feed on 1 kg for 10 days. That is 50 shillings for 10 days. So if you calculate for around 3 months until when they are ready for market, again we don't calculate from day 1 because they were not feeding when they were born up to around 1 month. So you are counting from the 2nd month up to, from when they are 1 month up to when they are 4 months, because we said they must be ready for market at 4.5 to 5 months. Beyond that age, again they are feeding, the market price is not changing. So like currently the prices we are having for meat, it's 250 shillings per kg live weight. I'm a buyer, so I'm talking on a buyer side. And again, when you create your own market, you may fetch better prices from that, because everybody else can create their own market like we have done, so that we become buyers. So when you create your own market, one rabbit goes for around 2,000, the meat. But when it is 250 per kilo live weight, when you are selling to the middleman, Again, you are doing like 500 shillings per kg meat weight, because when you slaughter a rabbit, you lose 50%. So if you do your mathematics well, you'll be fetching around 300 shillings dealing with that. 300 shillings per kg of rabbit meat when you are dealing with a middleman. If you sell the meat yourself to hotels, to supermarkets, or even individuals, you'll be fetching better money. So again, on the marketing part, you have to introduce people close to you to rabbit farming, like the youths mostly. I'm a youth mentor, I keep saying that, and the youths I deal with, I'm always motivating them to do rabbits. When they sell their rabbit meat, they're able to meet their needs. So like when they come to us, we are able to sell to them the starting stock, whereby once their rabbits have given birth and they have attained the recommended weight, we buy back from them. So when we are selling breeders, the breeder prices are different. Like for a mature rabbit, we are doing 3,500 shillings. A 4 months rabbit, 2,500. A 3 months rabbit, 1,500. And a 2 months rabbit, 1,000 shillings. So that's good money if you have numbers in your farm, and then keep the business moving. Again, I keep saying the definition of large scale is not having a big farm without returns. You would rather have a small farm, but with a good return, or the total turnover per year is something that you can say you are in business.